Hello, hello. Hello, hello. All right, lots of people jumping on here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Lunch Break Reset. Lots of people jumping in here. Let me just admit everybody and we'll get started. I want to respect your time. So glad you're all here. So many. All right, so Dr. Darlene's rebooting her computer. She'll be here shortly. Tech, we have to love it, right? Except when we don't. Okay, keep coming. We'll start in just like 2 minutes. I'm going to make sure I get everybody in here. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. I'm going to keep an eye on the participants here until Dr. Darlene gets here. She can help me co-host a minute. All right. So glad you've all taken your lunch hour with me. And sorry, I keep admitting, and I'm going to do both. I can multitask here. So happy you're here, and we're going to get started. Lots to go over. I really want you to relax if you can and enjoy this lunch hour. So many faces I recognize. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so I'm Joanna. If you don't know me, I'm a nervous system recovery coach. I use neuroplasticity and frequencies to help women heal from autoimmune pain, inflammation, anxiety, insomnia, all kinds of things that come along with that. But today, I just want to help you all relax. I want you to be able to enjoy your lunch hour, take a breath, and learn a new tool that can help you slow down. Because what we've been talking about all week, if you've been following me, is why it's hard to slow down and why sometimes it feels almost can give us more anxiety to slow down. And that's not your personality. We're going to talk about what's happening with your brain and your nervous system. Okay, everybody's in for now. Okay, so why does your body resist slowing down? A lot of you have heard of fight or flight. And we have Dr. Darlene jump on here. I'm going to have her talk about brain waves. So sometimes we can get stuck in that high beta wavelength, or we can call it stuck in fight or flight. There's all kinds of words, survival mode, protection mode, if you've heard any of those. Okay, what happens when that happens? So our brain is meant to protect us. It's here to help us survive and it's doing its job. And so when we get into what we call fight or flight, why are we in it? We could have a surgery, an accident, we could be in long-term stress. A lot of this is culture based, right? We're just dealing with life as it comes, and the chronic stress can build up, and our brain can get stuck in that fight or flight mode. So, how do we get out of it? It's there to protect us. God gave it to us to protect us. But sometimes when we can't move out of that beta and back into alpha, we'll talk about those waves in a few minutes, and we're stuck there, we can start feeling anxiety. Our cortisol levels shoot up, our adrenaline levels shoot up. And for some of us, we've been in this so long, it just feels normal. It feels like our personality. But I want to encourage you and give you hope that it's probably not. And there's a way out, and there's a way to be calm and not feel more anxiety about it. Okay. Um, when Dr. Darlene jumps in here, I'll introduce her. So we could talk a lot about a lot of things today, but I want to be very structured with what we're going to cover. We've been covering why it's hard to slow down. Well, it's hard to slow down when our brain's trying to protect us because it thinks if it slows down, it's going to miss a threat. So it's always scanning for cautions. It's scanning for problems. It's scanning for things that could happen in the future, or you might catch yourself ruminating on things in the past. So past conversations, past situations, how you could have done it differently, what it woulda, coulda, shoulda, replay those conversations. And then we call projecting what could happen in the future. Those potential conversations you might find that you have that you're replaying in your mind. How could that conversation go? How could this problem happen? How could I solve it all ahead of time, right? And if this sounds familiar to you guys, if you would just jump in the chat, like put a one or me, or yeah, I'm resonating with that. I hear what you're saying because I've been there. I've lived all of this. So I'm giving you hope and I want to encourage you here. It doesn't have to stay like that. So I know a lot of us can find that our brains go crazy at 3 a.m. and that's true. It's the cortisol jumps up, the adrenaline jumps up. Our brain is scanning. It's trying to keep us safe, right? So it's thinking of all the things that could go wrong and all the lists that you have in your head are on replay in the middle of the night. Once what we want is for your brain to feel safe. When it feels safe, it can calm down. Right now, it thinks that calming down is not safe. And so that's why you're feeling so much resistance when you try, or that you have more anxiety when you try to calm down and slow it down, right? You know, it's good for you. We're wired, we're tired but wired, can't calm down, got to keep moving. Even though we need it, it's like we just can't do it. We just keep pushing through. So today I want to give you some tools to help you with that. Okay. The primary job of the brain is survival. It is not the primary job when we're in fight or flight for us to heal. So it's prioritizing survival mode. It's not prioritizing healing. It's not prioritizing sleep. Because if you have a big Mack truck coming at you, sleep is not your priority. Joy is not your priority. There are a lot of things that the body and the brain put aside when it's stuck in fight or flight because it's trying to protect you. Okay, there's Dr. Darlene. What can we do to help that brain calm down and feel safe so that it allows you to take your peace back, to take your calm back, to sleep, to get your relationships back, to just cool your jets, right? I know how it feels. And there's that, I remember thinking, where's the off switch? If I could just have the off switch for one day, that would just feel so good. Well, it does feel good. And I want to help you today. All right. Out of respect for time, let's move on. Okay. Dr. Darlene, can you, I would just like to introduce you. Are you able to turn your camera on? Maybe you're not ready. You let me know. Sorry, give me 1 second, guys. Trying to do too many things at once. All right. Okay, there she is. Okay, so you're unmuted.
Hello, how are you?
All right.
Yes.
Are you there?
Okay, yeah. I don't know what's going on with the camera, but at any rate, I'm here on audio.
Okay.
So
Just want to say hello
good to
and
see you.
have you
Good to,
introduce yourself.
yeah, absolutely. So I'm Dr. Darlene. I am a neurosurgeon and neuroscientist, and I have been working in the frequency healing space for over 20 years. I've been working both on the brain surgery side and the non-invasive side, which is very exciting because shocking, everybody likes to have a hole drilled in their head to get help with their brain. So anyway, I am very excited to partner with Joanna in this amazing technology, which is really quite transformative. And I am a huge fan of her program. I think it is really powerful. So she has some wonderful mindset strategies that, when those are combined with frequency shifting strategies, just really have a powerful impact on you and can transform you, which you will be able to experience today. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for being here. And I see people are still trying to come in. All right, we're good. Let's move on. And this will be recorded. So for anybody that can't get in, we'll send that to them later. Okay, so thank you for that. I just love Dr. Darlene. She's been a mentor to me and a colleague, and learned so much from her. And I don't think she mentioned, she also has a wellness center uses so many different things. So highly respect her. Okay, so let's move on. We've talked about being in that high, and I may pull you back in here in a minute, Dr. Darlene. We talked about being in that high beta wave, fight or flight mode. The brain is in survival mode. How do we calm that down? So we're going to do an exercise. But before I do that, I want to explain one, I'm going to call it the evidence principle. So it may or may not be the name of it, but that's my name for it. Okay, are we good?
Are we good?
Dr. Darlene, I think your microphone's on. It may be having some feedback. Okay.
Okay.
So the evidence
I don't.
principle,
Let me just. Okay. I'll just
it's
take
okay.
off.
Tech is crazy today. When we try to do something like this, sometimes the tech likes to jump at us. You work on that. I'm going to keep going. So the evidence principle is in the neuroplasticity world, neuroplasticity means the brain's ability to change. And it has a huge ability to change. And that's what I teach with brain retraining. There's part of that called the evidence. So the brain needs evidence. It helps the brain to have a lot of evidence to change. One of the tools I use is rapid reprogramming, and I'm not going to go into the whole thing, but to explain it briefly, we have neural pathways in our brain. This is our pathway of thought that's familiar to us. We have a situation, we're going to think about it this way. We've always done it that way. We're going to run down that thought pathway. That's how it's always happened. So we don't even think about how we think sometimes. But what if those pathways aren't healthy? And what if we want to change those pathways? A lot of you have heard of affirmations. I use affirmations, they're great. But that is built on, let's start a new pathway over here. What happens? But if we don't shut down this old pathway, we're fighting. Like, I hear you, I hear the affirmations, they do work, but I'm still running down this thought pathway that feels familiar to me. So, how can we shut this one down and start this new one? That's the evidence that I'm talking about. The brain requires evidence to change. It does make it a lot easier. I want to teach you that today. It's not complicated. It sounds like it is, but it's not. I'll walk you through that. Also, another fact about evidence, the brain will automatically look for evidence to prove its point, to prove its thoughts. So whatever we're thinking, positive, negative, whatever, neutral, the brain's going to look for evidence to prove that to us. And that's why it's really important to think about what we think about. I could talk about that on a whole nother webinar. Not going to go there today. I just want you to know that. So get comfy. I want you to get comfy, calm down the best you can. I'm going to take you through an exercise to calm you. We're going to breathe. We're going to close our eyes. I want to talk to you 1 minute about breathing. So I've had a lot of clients. I've done this myself. I remember when people would say, let's do breath work. To an overwhelmed brain, sometimes breath work can feel nerve-wracking, or you're like, I don't want to calm down and do that. That's too hard. I don't like to calm myself that way. I had a client that said, it's like nails on a chalkboard. Well, the reason is our brain doesn't want to do it, right? It doesn't want to do the calming. It's resisting us. So the breathing does a few things. It's not just a woo-woo thing that sounds like a good idea. It connects our subconscious to our conscious. It also calms our vagus nerve and our nervous system. So whether we like it or not, let's tell our brain today, this is safe. It's okay. We're going to give this 10 minutes and it's safe. Your mind's in control today, not your brain, and they're two different things. So we're going to give it a little instruction of, thank you for protecting me, but we're going to do this. Okay, we're going to close our eyes and relax. Do a little breathing. We're going to breathe in for 4, hold it for 2, breathe out for 6. I'll count for you. Breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, long Exhale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do it again if you can. So let's breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 2. 1, 2. Breathe out for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to do it one more time. Breathe in for 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 2. 1, 2. And out for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd also like you, if you're comfortable with it, to put one hand over your heart and one hand on your tummy. This is a very grounding, connecting, somatic exercise to do. Now, I want you to identify that voice that you hear when you can't slow down. What is it telling you? I don't have time. Not now. Whatever your voice sounds like. Now, if you've ever done a body scan, it just means just kind of scan your body, because emotions fall in our body. They land there. Can you locate where that voice might be coming from? Does it feel like it's just kind of landed in your chest? Is it just in your head? Is it kind of in your tummy? Where does it feel like that obstacle, that voice of, I just don't have time, I'm not going to slow down, whatever it is that you say to yourself, where is it? Give you a second to just kind of think about that. And if you joined me last time, this is not the same exercise, but there's a few parts to it. If you find that in your body, does it have a color or shape to it? It doesn't have to, but sometimes people attach that we can kind of notice that about it. No judgment, just if it does, just notice that. Now, this is where the evidence part comes in. I want you to think, and I'm going to prompt you with these so you don't have to take the time to really go into them. I'm going to ask you for 3 memories. And these need to be from your life that you can prove to yourself, because your brain needs evidence. Think of a memory of when you avoided conflict by slowing down. Whether you just slowed down, took a breath, maybe you did an about face, walk the other way. I'm going to give you a minute to just try to bring something up. When was there a time that you avoided a conflict because you slowed down? If I was coaching you, I'd have you jot these down, because it amplifies the effect to write it. But for now, just think of that. Secondly, if you could come up with a memory of a time that you performed better because you took the time to rest. You performed better because you did take the time to rest. Can you remember a time that's evidence from your life? And thirdly, can you remember a time that when you slowed down, you had a decision to make? You slowed down before you made that decision, and you know it's because you slowed down and took your time that was the right decision. Okay, hopefully those 3 memories came to mind. Now, that's given your brain evidence of why it's okay to slow down, because you've done it before and it helped you and it came out, it had a positive impact. Now I want you to visualize a scenario tomorrow in your day. We don't always know what tomorrow brings, but you may know I've got a meeting, I have an interaction, I have to get ready for work. What is something that you know that you rush through without slowing down that would benefit you if you did slow down and paused, took a breath? Now, if you've come up with that, now visualize that scenario, but this time you slow down, you take a breath, maybe even put your hand on heart and tummy. Visualize that, what that looks like, what it feels like when you take that pause before the interaction or the situation, or it's just getting ready for work, whatever. What does that look like and feel like to you? Now I'm going to ask you to make a commitment to yourself. If you could commit to actually do that tomorrow when that thing is scheduled or to take place, if you would commit to do that, just drop in the box, the chat box, done. I commit that. Done. I'm going to do that tomorrow. Now I want you to think of, I meant to have you measure before you came in, so we didn't, that's fine. On a scale of 1 to 10 of tension, when you came in today, what would you say your tension was when you came into the meeting? And what would you say, 10 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, what would you say your tension is now? Wow, that's a big, big difference, 9 to 3. Even 1 point makes a difference in an 8-minute exercise. 5 to 3, awesome, awesome. I love that. 2 to a 0, cool. Okay, so you can see how taking a 10-minute break, and you may not always have 10 minutes, could be 5 minutes, could be 3 minutes, could be 1 minute, but just taking the pause and teaching your brain it's okay. It's safe if I take a break. It's safe if I take a minute, because your brain right now is telling you you don't have that time. You just proved to it that you had the time. You came up with 3 scenarios, hopefully, that prove to your brain, I can slow down, it comes out positive, and I'm safe. Okay. All right. So,
Joanna, do
yep.
you mind if I pop
Yeah, I was
in?
just going to move to you. Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So, one of the things that I love, love, love about that exercise is everyone just experienced a state shift in your brain frequency. So, a lot of us came in here in what's called a high beta frequency, and I'm pretty sure you talked about this in the beginning. So, that's the really fast frequency of your brain that a lot of us live in, right? We live in it because it's the thing that gets things done, or that's what we tell ourselves at least. But we're actually not designed to stay in that. And that exercise, Joanna, that you just led us through shifted our brain into alpha frequency, which is our bridge frequency between our conscious and our subconscious mind. In your subconscious mind is where you all store your healing ability for yourself. Okay. We are all created with the ability to heal ourselves. We have been given all the tools, whether you think so or not, you've been given all the tools you're going to need in this life for healing. The problem is we have a gatekeeper that locks us away from those because we feel unsafe. So, what everyone just experienced was a shift from that high beta frequency that leads to stress and anxiety, that depletes all of your happy brain chemicals, that depletes those calming brain chemicals, the trust and bonding brain chemicals, and shifted it into the alpha state, which that alpha state is where you bring your brain pathway repetition, where that turns your current reality into the reality you're focusing on. So, with those three memories that you pulled up, guess what you did? You actually found, located, and then reinforced those pathways regarding slowing down. So, what's going to happen is the next time you're faced with a situation of, do I rush or do I slow down? Your brain is going to be much more likely to choose the slow down pathway. And that's just from this simple 2 minute, 3 minute exercise. Imagine if you practice this on a regular basis, how easy it's going to be. Literally, all you will need is initially a thought to, you know what, I choose to slow down today. And eventually, it'll be an unconscious act because that will be your default pathway. So, those are some things that I wanted to share.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Thank you for jumping in there. Love it. This is all so fascinating. And I just love how you said we do have the healing capability within us. 100% believe that and know that. Okay, so something that you also mentioned, Dr. Darlene, was repetition. The brain loves repetition. So the more we repeat these types of exercises, the more it becomes our reality. The brain doesn't know the difference between imaginary and real. It only knows what we show it, what we see, what we experience. So the more we repeat these things, the more the brain assumes that's our truth. It is. So your visualizations, super important. How you talk to yourself, very important. Repetition and structure. So I kind of want to push that a little bit today because I'm not a structured repetition person. And so I think I understand and have empathy for people that with this work, I could just tell you, hey, I gave you a tool today, go practice it. It's hard, right? It's hard without some structure to get started with your routine. And then knowing that this has to be repeated, not just this one exercise, but multiple exercises that we can use. So the brain needs that structure and repetition to make it a new habit, to make it a new thought pathway. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. I want to make this easy for you. I want you to be able to, what you felt today, if you did that every day for 30 days, can you imagine where your nervous system would be in 30 days? I have tried really hard. I have Dr. Darlene way more than me as far as training and knowledge, but I'm a training junkie. I have so much knowledge and so many videos that you could watch, but I'm not going to do that to you. So, what I've tried really hard is to boil all this down into a very simple, structured methodology that you can use, that you will use. Because what happens is we're running around with overwhelmed brains and over regulated nervous systems. We don't want another thing that we have to learn or that we have to do or we have to figure out. It's like a red flag of, oh no, not one more thing. I'm not doing that. So my job is to make this easy. How can I make this simple, easy? It just slides right into your life and it becomes like a normal habit. That's been my goal. So I created a 30-day app where I lead you through a 10-minute exercise every day, just like I just did today. It's super easy. You just touch it. I come on, I'll show you in a minute, tell you, guide you through an exercise. It's awesome. I've taken everything I know and put it into like a micro 30-day program. I think is anyone else getting feedback? Little bit. Are you hearing an echo? Okay, there you go. Okay, we're good. So the other thing, and I'm probably going to bring Dr. Darlene back on here real quick. I'm at 12:30. I promised you guys 30 minutes. So I'm going to ask your permission. I have two tools to show you to help you to move through this. Do I have permission to keep going for another 5 or 10 minutes? If you have to jump off, you can. I just want to make sure we're okay here. Okay, cool. Anybody that needs to go, that's great. Or you feel free. Okay, awesome. So a couple tools. Dr. Darlene talked about frequencies briefly, and I'm not going to go into a whole dissertation about frequencies. I'll have her maybe jump back on here in a minute. And I want to show you this super amazing, and I say these words because I'm like holding my excitement down. Learning about frequencies in the body is amazing, but the tool that I have found through Dr. Darlene is so easy and simple to use. What it does when we pair that with brain retraining is it just makes it easy. So the work that it feels like it could be, it's not. It comes in, it does the work for you to some extent. It's kind of like does the heavy lifting. And then we add the brain retraining to it at the same time, and we get an amplified effect. What you guys don't know is I've been playing frequencies over you during your exercise, and I think it really helped. Before I show you what that actually looks like, because I could tell you, but you actually, I think if you see it, you would have a better understanding. Dr. Darlene, would you mind coming on and just a quick explanation of why we might use frequencies?
Yes, absolutely. So, first of all, you need to understand that we are made of frequencies, okay? Every part of us is made of frequency. There's frequencies that come together in ways that, we have organ systems, right? But your brain has a frequency, your heart has a frequency, your very DNA, your cells have frequencies. So, sometimes those frequencies get a little out of balance, right? They get out of balance. And that's when we start to see problems like stress. We can even see physical problems related to it. So, the way to get frequencies back into balance is actually to deliver other frequencies, okay? It's a mirror phenomenon, right? Like that mirror neuron network in the brain that you were talking about, how we envision and what we envision, the brain can't tell the difference. Well, when you deliver healing frequencies, healthful frequencies, ideal frequencies to the body, it eventually picks that up and comes into alignment with it. And I want you to think about it like this. Have you ever walked into a room and that room is filled with people who are happy and joyful, right? What happens? What tends to happen? You tend to become happier and more joyful, right? That is how delivering healthful healing frequencies works just with your body. So that's a very pared down description, but I think a very powerful one. And when our mind is telling us, gosh, this is too hard, if we can deliver a frequency that helps us shift into peace and calm, then we can begin to do the mindset work, such as that exercise, and see powerful benefits.
Yeah. And that's something that I think I was going to ask you in the beginning. You just went over it a little bit. What you see in your work is that I don't want to speak for you, but I've heard you say is that once we get our nervous system under control, once we get the fight or flight under control, the healing is much easier to do. And you would agree with that, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. What I've found over the years is that most people are walking around with dysregulated nervous systems. And this is why sometimes we don't respond to mindset work. And you say, look, I'm doing all the things, but it's not working. If your nervous system is in a state of dysregulation, what that means, let me put it in plain English, your brain does not feel safe. And when your brain does not feel safe, it is not going to expend any energy on anything other than helping it feel safe. Okay. So we have to make our nervous system feel safe to regulate it. And then all of these other strategies, that's when they can be powerful. Listen, I even see this with supplements and medications that some of my clients are taking and patients are taking, right? They can be taking things and have no benefit if their nervous system is dysregulated. So the first thing we do, and this is what I do using this program and technology is going to share with you, as well as what I do at our wellness center. I get the nervous system into calibration, and then everything else begins to become so much easier and the healing can occur.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. Super helpful. So I just want to give you a quick, we're not going to go through all this software. It's so easy. I just really wanted you to see how easy it is. The way it works is that you can scan, you can find out your where you're at for the day, your emotions, your frequencies, your energies, and then it will customize a playlist for you of tones. I'm not going to go through the recording with you today for time, but I just want you to quickly hear like a playback of a tone that you might hear. And by listening to these throughout the day on your earbuds or whatever, it really helps to regulate your nervous system. Do y'all hear that? And then the tonal, oh, you didn't hear it? Okay, let me turn up my volume. Try that again. Can you hear that? So interesting, it's not sharing the audio. Can you hear that tone? Okay. Oh, the tech today.
When the replay is put together, you can edit that in there so you guys will be
Okay.
able to hear
Okay.
that.
We'll send that out afterwards. So I just wanted to show you how simple this is. It's amazing software that they've made available to us in our homes. It used to, you couldn't get it, but it's pretty amazing. And I can tell you from my personal experience that it has made this so much easier. It doesn't require work. It's regulating my nervous system by just hearing it. And there are some days I don't even have to turn the auditory on. I can just play it on mute. That's a discussion for another day. But I also wanted to show you really quickly my app. So this would be day one. It's like we just did a visualization. You'll see me come on. I'm going to guide you through a 10-minute exercise. Here's what I want you guys, I want to tell you. Let me stop sharing this. Okay. I really, really believe in the tool, the software. It makes regulating your nervous system so much easier. I want you guys to have that in your hands. That is a third-party software I don't own. I would love for you to purchase that software, use it for a month. If you don't like it, you can cancel it at the end of the month. It's a subscription. And if you do that, I will give you my app for free. So you can watch me guide you through an exercise and then just push the button on the software and let it play in the background. You are amplifying your brain retraining work at that point. In 30 days, you will have gone through 30 10-minute exercise and played your frequencies over you. I haven't met anyone that didn't have an amazing shift at the end of the 30 days. Are you going to be healed? Probably not. But it is phase one of calming your nervous system down. I actually just had a lady that went through the 30 days. She's on here. I saw her earlier. All of her inflammation actually disappeared in 30 days, which I would not have expected. I would have think it would have taken longer than that. Her relationships improved. She was calmer. She's sleeping better. So I know what this does in 30 days. I don't think it's going to get rid of everything. It's not intended to. What it's intended to is to teach you good habits, to calm your nervous system and get you ready for deeper work. At the end of 30 days, sometimes people are like, that's all I needed. I feel great. See you, bye. That's fine with me too. I just want you to have it. I want to give you the tools that make it super easy, gentle, and that work with your lifestyle. So what does this cost? The software is $149 for a 1-month subscription, and it's $49 as a one-time membership fee. Again, that's a third party. Dr. Darlene, if you can, would you drop that link in the chat if they wanted to go sign up for that? If you sign up for that and just send me an email, you signed up for it, I'll send you my 30-day app for free. I just want you to do this and I want you to feel better. There's a lot of gals on here that already have the scanner, and I'm guessing that you love it or you wouldn't still have it. If you're interested in the 30-day app, I have another link that you can just buy that for an inexpensive $30. If you love it, you can keep it. If not, no harm, no foul. I think what you just recognized in a 10-minute shift today, if you repeated that shift every single day for 30 days, different exercise, same result, I can't imagine that you wouldn't feel significantly different at the end of the 30 days. So my question to you, what is that worth to you? Are you ready to do it? Are you ready to take the step? I would love to offer you that. My app will be free through Sunday. We start this Sunday, the 22nd. It's a 30-day journey. I will be on every other Sunday for a group call for questions. You can always text me with things. I just want you to feel better. I believe in this technology and I believe in you. I hope that you guys have felt better even in our time together. If you did, put a 1 in the chat. I would just like to know what you felt here. And I'm going to stay on if you have questions. If you need to run, totally great. I'm going to send a replay. But if you'd like to ask me questions, and I don't know, Darlene, what your timing is, if you can stay on, I'm happy to stay here and answer questions. Anybody? Oh, I need to follow this chat. Raise your hand if you'd like to ask anything. Nothing's off limits. If not, okay.
I think one question that people might have, Joanna, is how much time every day is this going to take for them? I mean, that's,
Right.
I think, the biggest question that I hear. So if you want to just
Yep.
talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, so I've specifically designed this first phase for 10 minutes a day. And if you want to repeat it throughout the day, you're more than welcome. I think repeating things, you get an even bigger effect. But I specifically designed this for just 10 minutes a day. So if you can do it 10 minutes in the morning instead of take 10 minutes out of scrolling or whatever you do in the morning while you're having your coffee is a great time to just click the app, click the day, the 10-minute, click your software, let it run. You're done in 10 minutes. Usually people feel better in 10 minutes. Now, I've had people like set their alarm for lunchtime, repeat it at lunch, repeat it before bed. Those are choices, but the way this is designed is to really just get you in a habit of calming down for 10 minutes a day and teaching your brain that it's okay and that it's safe. And that compounded effect over 30 days shows up. Anything else jumps out at you guys? Trying to read the chat here. Yes, there's going to be a replay. There was a specific diagnosis I don't know if I can speak to on here, but we could talk later. Okay. Anybody raise your hand, unmute yourself. If you have a question, drop it in the chat. I'm so glad you stayed. And I feel like very happy that you got a result and you feel calmer. And yes, you can get the app if you already have the scanner. I don't know, Dr. Darlene, if you have the links available to drop in the chat. I will send this as an email afterwards to all of you with both links. So there's one link to the scanner. If you don't have that, and I'll give you the app for free. If you already have the scanner, I'll send you the link to the app and it's $30. So it's a
Yeah,
lot of value for $30.
I put the link to the scanner in the chat already, so that should be in there, and I will go grab the link to your app.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. All right, so I'm gonna have her drop that in there and I'm gonna send an email out afterwards. And if there's no other questions for me, we can end. Now I'm going to try to do this again in another month or so. So every time we do it, we do have a different exercise, and I want to keep that varied for you. But if you purchase the app, you're going to have all these exercises in at your fingertips. So there it is. There's the app link. Thank you, Dr. Darlene. All right, so let's wrap it up. Thanks for joining us for your lunch hour, and I hope it was valuable to you. Thank you, Dr. Darlene, for joining us today. I appreciate you.
My pleasure. Take care.
All right.